Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Potential Unleashed. We're back with another One Piece video. This is One Piece chapter 1086 review. Before I want to get into this, I wanted to mention that we will not be having a chapter for the next few weeks because Oda, he is going on break. Unfortunately, he has an astigmatism. If you guys don't know what that is, basically you have blurry vision. Is something to do with your eyesight. You can look it up for more information, but because of that, it's interfered with his work, and so he's going to take a break to get it fixed. Typically people usually with astigmatisms, they wear glasses, but then when it gets to a point where it's really bad, they had to get surgery, so he's going to get it fixed. It's unfortunate. Of course, I want Oda to be in the best health, and hopefully the surgery is successful. He has a good time on his break, and he has a healthy and fast recovery. But it sucks because at the same time, Egghead Island has been nothing but gas. But hey, anytime Oda goes on break, he always comes back even stronger. So I just wanted to mention that because I'm not going to make a video separate talking about his break. One Piece chapter 1086. It is titled The Five Elder Planets. If you guys enjoy regular anime content, reviews, discussions, theories, stuff like this, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Also, I recently started live streaming on Twitch. If you guys want to be a part of that, I would leave it in the description. I greatly appreciate it. But with that away, let's get into the review. The chapter starts out with different people of Alabasta. They are looking for Vivi and Cobra, specifically Chaka, Pell, and Igaram. They're like, hey, where's Princess Vivi? Where's Cobra? What is going on? We then cut to Warpol and Vivi, who are on a stowaway ship, and Warpol is currently making contact with Morgans. I don't know the exact chapter number, but it was a chapter where we were wondering why Vivi and Warpol, they were with Morgans, and this is why. He ended up calling, needing a favor, needing them to be saved by him and pick him up, and Morgan's like, all right, you know, I'll land my ship where you guys are at, and then you guys don't get caught and sneak aboard, because hey, a scoop having a king being targeted by a manhunt by CP0, it's something that would break the news. We also see CP0 going around asking for Vivi's location. Same with Sabo. We see Bonnie, she's on a ship who is headed towards, or she's trying to get to Egghead Island. And then we also see Sabo, he is in, I don't want to say critical condition, but he's not in the best shape. We know in the last chapter during the Reverie, he ended up getting pierced by Emu, and so he's bleeding a little bit. I'm not even say a little bit, he's bleeding a lot going through it, and so he must live on, and he's headed towards Lelouch. We cut to the five elders, and they end up talking about Sabo and how he is a man. We know about fate in One Piece, is talked all the time, and so they talk about how he is associated or affiliated with a lot of people with the name D in their name. And so I just find it funny. Sabo, he's the only one without a D, but he ends up being with Ace, with Dragon, with Luffy, and other characters as well. Then we get a phone call from Emu. Emu's telephoning in, telling the five elders the time has come to put to the test Vegapunk's invention to use the Mother Flame. And so the different elders are like, well, where are we going to use it at? We can use it, we don't know exactly how powerful it is. We can use it on an island with not a lot of people. We can use it on like a testing ground on the sea, and Emu's like, fluff all that, we using it on Lelouch. And I love the five elders because like when you look at Emu, we don't even know who the Fluff they really are. It's speculated that they are one of the people from the past. We don't know if that's true or not, and they mentioned some stuff later in the chapter which I'll talk about, but they didn't even hesitate. Emu gave them an order and they said it will be done. Give them, like, they just gave little speeches saying what the different preparations they have to do, and we got their names as well. Let's start with Saint J. Garcia Saturn. He is one of the five elder planets, a defensive science warrior god. Then there's Saint Marcus Mars, he's an environmental warrior god. There's Saint Topman Valkyrie, he's the justice warrior god. Saint Ethan Baron the News Juro, I believe that's how you pronounce it, he is the finance warrior god. And then lastly, Saint Shepherd Jupiter, he is the agricultural warrior god. So they are putting in preparations to go and nuke Lelouch. Also, Imu tells them to go and retrieve Vivi. I plan on doing a video about the matchups for the final war and a video about the final war. I'm glad that we got this because these guys are definitely strong. I don't know who they're gonna fight just yet. That's why I'm gonna make that video, so make sure you guys stay tuned in the future. Also, I wanted to mention, because of the different uprisings and the different rebellions that are going on, the government, they had to send out more Seraphims. And the reason I'm saying this, because on Egghead Island, we only knew of S Bear, which was Kuma, S Hawk, which is Mihawk, S Shark, which is Jinbei, and S Snake, which is Boa Hancock. And now we see Doflamingo Seraphim, Moria, and Crocodile. And this is the 7 official, or the first Warlords of the Seas Seraphims that we were ever introduced. I wondered if we would get anything about Blackbeard, since he was a warlord at the time, or at a point in time. Also about Law and about Weevil. We may or may not, but at the same time, the original 7, for what we know, they were warlords of the sea for a long time. So the question was, why was Sabo framed for the murder of Cobra? Number one, there was the transponder sales, and the world government painted that picture. But at the same time, Sabo was like, well, he wanted to, when he arrived at Lelouch, he wanted to clear up the misunderstanding of that he wasn't the one who killed Cobra. But at the same time, the amount of people who were trying to fight against the world government, and Betty, she ended up inspiring them. He was like, well, they fueled the I guess his death, or killing Cobra, it ended up fueling the flames of the rebellion. So Sabo was like, well, we are in it now, so I might as well not change their minds. Also, I want to mention the reason why Sabo ended up getting, well, it appeared that there was a call for him on Lelouch, was because he ended up using a transponder cell to kind of, I guess, make it to where it appeared he was on Lelouch, where he had the people of, or the ones that were willing to rebel, they were already on a ship headed for New Kama Island. And so yeah, it was just a transponder cell that allowed Sabo to fake ping like he was still on Lelouch. Now Sabo, he ended up describing what the fluff happened on Lelouch. He said it appeared to be an enormous shadow engulfed above the sky, and he said in the next moment that everything was gone. So Dragon questioned it. He's like, what the fluff, an enormous shadow? And Sabo said there's no way that it could be a living creature or a natural disaster. Something pitch black was lying above the clouds. And so this is where Ivankov was like, well, if Vegapunk made this weapon, and then Dragon, he's like, well, Vegapunk wouldn't do anything like this, knowing that it's a deadly weapon that would kill people. And this is where Ivankov comes and says it's more likely than not, or the possibility of an ancient weapon. Even though we already knew this, Sabo didn't know. So Ivankov stated about how Emu was named of one of the former 20 sovereigns of the Saint Emu House of Nerona. Then we ended up talking a little bit about eternal youth, and that Emu has the possibility of not having to worry about death. So they, from the past, could have achieved an ancient weapon, and that will make us understand why the 5 elders, who are some of the highest levels of nobles, why they would serve under somebody. Even though they're considered gods, they also consider themselves descendants of the gods, so it makes sense to why they would serve under Emu. We get to the end of the chapter. Apparently a celestial dragon is to be sentenced to death. Now the people of the outside won't know this, because if that's the case, it will bring a lot of murmur, and a lot of people will be like, oh well, celestial dragons, they can be executed, and just a lot of things that the outside world doesn't necessarily need to know, because celestial dragons are perceived as perfection, as gods, can't do anything wrong, and everything that they says goes. So if one celestial dragon is being executed, then it's going to raise a lot of question. And apparently this person who was executed was the former king of God Valley, and his name was Saint Garling, and he currently serves as the supreme commander of the God Knights. And the celestial dragon that is being executed is Saint Don Quixote Miosgar, the one that protected Shirahoshi. Apparently the supreme commander of the God Knight, he's like, anyone who protects scum is lower than scum themselves. I kind of find that funny, because if anything, the celestial dragons are scum because of the different actions that they do. So, you know, him saying that is kind of like an oxymoron a little bit, but hey, he's doing his thing. I didn't do anything or talk about the God Knights much. I plan on doing a video about them probably over the next few days, especially because Oda, he's going on a break. We're not going to have any new One Piece content out for a minute, so I got a lot of videos of different things I want to talk about, especially this guy being the supreme commander of the God Knights, and those people are strong. Can't wait to talk about that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about this chapter in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok is on the screen and the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.